Malibu runs red.
And another one.
Oh, you just...
What?
Somebody... Oh, what a jerk. It's a murder. Oh, that's why you're...
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Northport, Washington.
You guys might be ran a red light. Hey, look, there's another walker, and that guy just broke the law. And I'm trying to think. I take her over to Sam's, and
Whoa. That guy. That guy probably just went flying through it.
that guy just blew the wall. Wow. Those are two identical guns. Wow, this minivan has a flat tire. Uh-oh. That is not a parking spot, Mr. Chrysler. turn on your headlights. Seriously, dude. Let's cross up. You just ran. Okay, lady. Red light runner. Brother?
It was pretty far away from you on a whole different.
Oh, are you not gonna go?
Alright, pull out. Already pulled out. Your side of the road, please.
They don't have much warning for that stuff. Nice job.
Slipped out from time to time, treat myself to speed here and there, but their license plate.
Wow, really, dude? It was his turn. Oh. I just run that guy's. I was here first, but okay. Holy crap. Look at that truck. Both just went right through there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of this video, seeing the top 10 vehicles that popped up the most in my compilations. It was definitely interesting seeing which ones made that list after going through my videos. Here, before we move on, I will list our honorable mentions that just barely didn't make the list. And those vehicles would be the Honda Accord, the Dodge Ram pickup trucks, the Toyota Corolla, and the Chevy Equinox. I also did make a top 5 list for the manufacturers that were featured the most in the videos, and I'll read it off here real quick. Number 5 was Dodge. Number 4 was Honda. Number 3 was Toyota. Number 2 was Ford. And number 1 by plenty was Chevy. And the Silverado was probably a big boost of that, but... And as far as the types of vehicles, like sedans and such, the number 3 most common one was the pickup truck. The number 2 most common was the smaller to mid-size SUVs. And the number 1 was the sedan. So now that we've gone through the list of the top 10 vehicles that made it in the most, and the top 5 manufacturers and stuff, now let's kind of analyze the data. So looking at it overall, there really wasn't that much of a trend if you just look at it from like how often did a certain vehicle make it in a compilation. The only real trend was the fact that the more popular vehicles made it in more, which obviously that makes sense. The more popular a vehicle is, the more likely it's going to be featured in a video, obviously. Like, for example, the Ford Escape, that's a very popular vehicle. I see those around all the time. And that was number 4 on the list. The Chevy Silverado is also a very popular pickup truck. And that one was the number 1 on the list. And the Honda Civic, also very popular. The Honda CR-V, very popular. Toyota Camry, not to mention. And there's most of the others in the top 10 list are very popular vehicles. So, and obviously that makes a lot of sense of why you would see them more often. And if we were to kind of dig a little bit deeper into the data, you could see a few trends within certain vehicles. Like the Honda Civics were like the more speedy type. CR-Vs were the more entitled type, and the Silverados were more of the aggressive type. And just kind of things like that. Another thing I should point out about this data is that this is mostly the Twin Cities area. Some in Dallas, some in Oklahoma City, and some in other various parts between here and there. But you gotta realize that it could be different in another city. Like, you may have a vehicle that's more popular in another city. Like, in New York City, I'm sure like the Toyota Prius is going to be a lot more popular, and you're going to see those more often. Or LA, too. And, you know, you have those typical vehicles that you see all the time, like the Toyota Prius, and the BMWs, and the Mercedes, that most dash cameras see all the time. But something I should point out, there was no Mercedes, unless I missed something. There was no Mercedes that I calculated in my data. There was only 10 BMWs, and out of all those BMWs, only 2 or 3 of them were really the typical BMW behavior, not signaling, weaving in and out of lanes. And the Toyota Prius was actually the one that surprised me the most. I mean, the Prius isn't the most popular vehicle around here, obviously, but there was only one. Only one that made the list here, and that was actually just a few days ago. So out of my year and a half of dash camming, I've only got one Prius messing up. I've seen a few Priuses get cut off, but that was an interesting statistic for me. Which goes to show you the area can probably affect that too. Like I said, like New York and Los Angeles, you're going to see more Priuses. Up here, you're going to see more four-wheel drive SUVs. And then in Dallas, per se, you're going to see a lot more pickup trucks, because that's the culture down there, and plus you get lots of flooding at times. So in conclusion, there really isn't that much of a trend for the vehicles that bad drivers, per se, drive more. Besides, like I said, the fact that more popular vehicles are going to be seen more. And that particular vehicle or vehicles will obviously differ depending on what city or area you live in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe out there during this COVID-19 season. And I'm curious to know what's like the... are these vehicles similar to ones that you see most often out on the road screwing up? So tell me what the more popular vehicles that show up in your videos are. I'm curious to know if it's similar or different for you guys. So that will be it for this video. Thank you for watching. and stay safe out there.